1981 to 1998, a series of 3 cases in the Supreme Court of India, popularly known as the 3 judges cases, established the principles of judicial appointment to the higher judiciary. First, SP Gupta versus Union of India 1981. Second, Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association versus Union of India 1993. And third is not exactly a case but an opinion delivered by the Supreme Court in response to the question of law regarding the collegium system raised in 1998 by the then President of India, K.R. Narayanan. At present, according to the Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, the Supreme Court has a sanctioned strength of 34 judges, all of which are occupied. All the high courts put together have a sanctioned strength of 1,114, of which 345 are vacant. The 18,500 plus district and subordinate courts across India have a sanctioned strength of 24,472, of which 5,049 are vacant. How do judicial appointments happen? How does one become the Chief Justice of a state or even India? Typically, aspiring judges must clear something called the Judicial Services Exam, also known as PCSJ, conducted by public service commissions of various states. In some states, a percentage of seats are also reserved for advocates serving in that state. Once selected, they start out by serving as a magistrate in a subordinate court. After serving a fixed tenure, which is decided by the respective High Court, they become eligible to be promoted to the level of a district judge. All of this is decided by a recruitment committee in the High Court. For appointments to the High Court, the Chief Justice of that High Court puts together a recruitment committee consisting of senior judges of that High Court. This recruitment committee puts together a potential list of candidates to be elevated to the High Court. This list could consist of well-performing district judges, senior advocates practicing in that state, or eminent jurists. This list is then submitted to a collegium at the Supreme Court of India. The collegium consists of senior-most judges of the Supreme Court, including the Chief Justice of India. This collegium sends the final list for the approval of the President of India. For elevation to the Supreme Court, transfers between High Courts, and elevation to the Chief Justice of a state, the collegium puts together a list of their own. In all cases, this final list is shared with the Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India. The Ministry can make suggestions or raise objections for consideration of the collegium, but none of these are binding on the collegium. The Ministry of Law and Justice then sends this final list for the approval of the President of India. Post that, new judges are sworn in at the Rashtrapati Bhavan by the President. Of the 275 Supreme Court judges so far, 266 have been those from various High Courts and 9 have been advocates. At the High Court level, roughly 50% of them are judges from the lower courts and the other are advocates practicing in that state. And that is how recruitment, transfers and appointments happen to the judiciary in India. With this, we come to an end to our judiciary series, where we looked at the structure of Indian judiciary, life cycle of a case, functions of subordinate court, alternate dispute resolution, and judicial appointments. Samagra will be back soon with yet another short episode of Governance Decluttered, where we decode everyday governance in India.